Hi all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this week's video and next week's video is a sketchbook tour, specifically this little sketchbook. Now it's a Daler and Rowney A5 sketchbook, and I'll be honest, paper quality, not the best. I was kind of disappointed in it. I got it from CuriousRosesArt, and normally I really like all of their products, and I went for this sketchbook in particular, one for the size so I could take it around me when I was out and about, although I didn't actually end up doing that much, and also because of this pleather type cover. Now the cover really attracted me because my previous sketchbook, which I did say in the sketchbook tour, it got water onto it and it just kind of wrecked a few of the pages, which really wasn't helpful. So I wanted to go for something pleather where the water could run off a little bit more easily if it did get wet. Thankfully it didn't, mainly because this thing did not come outside much at all. But yeah, so that's that little bit out the way. Now this is going to be split into part 1 and part 2, just because it makes it a little bit easier with me going away to Thailand. It means I've got a couple of videos in the bank so I can get back to doing artwork after my holiday. But for now, I hope you enjoy this sketchbook tour, and if you like it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, so this is the sketchbook review, as I probably already said in the introduction. And this is my Daler and Rowney sketchbook. It's A5 in size, and we have a couple of stickers. So these are from Zeke's lunchbox, and this is mini small. Now I did actually start this in, well, 29th of May, but I put June just because it was basically June. And I had a couple of goals on here of sketching faces, doing different buildings, gaining confidence while sketching outside, because this was supposed to be just a travel sketchbook, only for when I'm going out and bringing it with me and sketching along the way. So this first one is a pencil drawing of an elephant, and I did that while I was on the way to Somerset to see my sister. And yeah, in all honesty, I didn't really keep up with it, so it was then 2 weeks later that I then did this, more of an enlarged portion of the elephant trunk, again in pencil. That was on a train. And then this one, again, another 2 weeks, and that was doing these, and these were in fine liner, and that's when I realised how thin this paper is. I don't know if the camera's picking it up that well, but you can kind of see here some of the imprint of where the ink has been bleeding through, and this was just pen. So that was really frustrating for me, and in all honesty, between... trying to get to it, where is it? Let me see, I'm just flicking through these because a lot of these pages I just wasn't happy with. So as I said, started in June, very beginning of June, so technically end of May. To get from here to here, and this was end of October. So it's been 4 months and I literally did this much. There was hardly anything, and in all honesty I wasn't that happy with many of the drawings in here. I did do a couple where I was out and about and travelling, but it was just clear that I don't travel often enough for this to be worth it. But I did realise that if I put paint down on the background, then I can do the drawing on the art over the top and nothing bleeds through over to the page. So that was great, but this was poster paint and I didn't realise, but it's really messy. So as you can see here, it's all printed. This is actually a back of an old art print of mine that I did, but it's literally slotted in here because it kept printing onto this page. And I mean, it's not the best page in the world anyway, but it was just making it really black and muddy and horrible. So I cleaned it up as best I could and then put this in here just to stop that from printing. But going forwards, so from that October part, this is where we actually start making the most of this sketchbook. So I did do these 2 faces while travelling, but I started doing this more like at work as well. So I did this little hand while I was on break at work. This was on a bus. This was while I was at work. And these, obviously I pre-painted the page, and then I did this while I was on a bus. So I started using it a little bit more, but even then there's still quite a few days between each piece that I worked on. Again, this was while travelling, but this was done at home on, I believe, 2 different days actually. So then we kind of start getting into, well, I actually forgot to put a date on this, but I think it's kind of like the end of October, oh no, December. We're actually in December. So even from December, from October to December, again, I literally only did this much. It really wasn't much. But from December, I made myself a challenge that I had to finish the rest of this sketchbook, so all of this, by March, because I'm going on holiday to Bangkok and I wanted to pick up myself a new sketchbook while I was out there because I really liked some of the ones that they had, and so I decided I need to finish this. So I started drawing in it a hell of a lot more, and I did actually get it done. I actually finished this sketchbook on the 24th of February. But yeah, so just doing some little animals in a pen, and then I started doing some work in acrylic because, again, thinking about the fact that the paint's not going to bleed through, and acrylic is dense enough that it's not going to warp the page too much. So just some little portraits. This one I've actually used for another piece. This was some gouache that I got through. I did a big order of gouache, so I decided to do some swatching, but the paper wasn't strong enough to uphold, so some of it kind of bled through to the other side. This is more of a abstract type thing. I've been watching a artist, I'm going to link him below, it's CuriousRosesArt. Anyway, he does a lot of abstract art and I really enjoyed all the colours, so I thought I would do my own little version. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the colours, and not something I'll probably do too much of. This was the Meds 50 Heads challenge. I didn't actually do all 50 heads because I'd already done the 100 heads challenge not too long ago. So I thought I'll do 5 just to keep myself up to scratch with that. Yeah, I like this one, but most of the others are kind of bad, but still. And this is where I tried doing abstract again. It's like the last time I bothered trying because I just wasn't really interested in it. And this is more of a like an anime style, but again, it's not really my sort of thing. But this sketchbook, like the whole purpose of it was to practice doing things that I wouldn't necessarily do all the time, just to see whether it's a style that I enjoy or not. So this is a little landscape, again done in acrylics. If anyone realises the scene, it's Hogwarts. Some more head studies, nothing too major here, just in biro. Fruit studies, because, you know, why not? And then this was some figure drawing. So I actually really wanted to start doing more figure drawing, but I didn't actually end up doing it until end of February. And this was middle of December. Honestly, did better than what I thought I would for this small. Another little landscape. This time I actually used metallic ink. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up. Does slightly, but yeah, but that was quite fun to do. Now this spread was actually originally all woodland animals, and I did it on the 24th of December, but I really didn't like the way they turned out, especially the ones that were on this side, so I painted over the top instead on Boxing Day and just did this. It was really loose. It's an artist on Instagram and she does quite a lot of this sort of style, and I really wanted to try it. And yeah, I actually really enjoyed it. It was really loose, very simple, very quick. Yeah. And this, just some unicorns. I really like this. This has actually ended up being my picture for a lot of things like on Instagram and YouTube and things like that, just because I really enjoyed the way that turned out. This was another little piece. This was actually done on Christmas Day. I didn't do any pencil sketch underneath this. I literally just went straight in with my acrylic paints, so I was quite pleased how that one turned out. And then that's another one of those spreads just in that looser style, just because I was feeling a bit more tired. Again, something a little bit different. I enjoyed the different contrasting of colours of this one. Now this one was a galaxy spread, so you may have already seen it where I do my colour study video. Now, like that, I was doing one for a galaxy communication piece. I'll have a picture up. And I just wasn't getting on with the background at all. I tried 4 different versions, wasn't getting on with it. And in the end I thought, you know what, I'm just going to try this in acrylic, and I prefer it so much. Yeah, I was actually really surprised at how easily this went with acrylic than trying to do that in gouache. So yeah. Okay, that's it for part 1. I hope you've enjoyed that first bit. I know it was a bit... The artwork in that, I will admit, isn't the best. The best and my happiest pieces are actually in the second half of this video, which will be coming out the following week on Monday. But it is important to show where I started, so starting with that general idea of trying to do this as a travel sketchbook and realising I really don't go out that much. Like, don't get me wrong, I go on trains up to central London probably about twice a month in winter, three or more in summer, but in all honesty I'm normally with my partner Damien, so I wouldn't normally sit there and draw while he's next with me. I mean, he wouldn't mind at all, it's just I like to spend my time with him when I'm with him. So it's not often I'm going up there on my own to sketch. So yeah, it just didn't get used for that travel bit, and as you saw, it took me like 4 months to do like 6 pages. Like, it was ridiculous. I did get a bit better towards the end of the video, as you saw, but it still wasn't anything amazing. But second half of the video, things get a lot better, and I'm not gonna lie, the majority of this sketchbook gets finished in the last 3 weeks, and that's been simply a change of job. But that will all be coming up in the next video, so I'll see you next week. And don't forget, if you did like this, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe.